If you're planning on buying any cards from TCG Player, make sure you use our affiliate link right here in the description of our video to help support the channel. It's the best way to do it and it's free. And if you're looking for code cards, make sure you check out Poton Store. They have automatic email delivery and all the latest Pokemon TCG codes, and you can use Tablemon code for 5% off. If you're from Europe, mealybotsgaming.com is a great option to get your cards from. They have all sorts of sealed products, merchandise, and all the sets available from Pokemon Sun and Moon upwards, including the latest Hidden Fate set. Don't forget to use Tablemon code when checking out to get a further 5% off from your final purchase. Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new day of Road to TCG Worlds 2020. LAIC just finished this past weekend and we saw Robin Schulz take down the whole tournament with this deck, which is basically ability RESHIZARD. It literally has one new card from the new set, so if you were looking for like a budget deck or an easy transition from one format to the next, you have it right here now. This deck is definitely not as straightforward as before. You do have to be very aware of your prices and your resources. I actually think that if Town Map was a card that was available, I'm sure we would be seeing it in this list, which was like the signature card of the Schulz brothers, because you are playing essentially one of each of your attackers. You need to know exactly which one's available, why or why not you can't use either one, and plan around that. So we have ability RESHIZARD, of course RESHIZARD dealing outrage 30 damage plus 10 more for each damage counter on it, so you have to be very careful with how much damage you actually deal to it. Then of course we have Flare Strike dealing 230 damage as well. Pretty powerful attack, and it is enough to KO every single GX Pokemon out there. It's not enough to KO tag teams, but that's where Double Blaze GX comes in, where for 3 energies you deal 200 damage, but if you have 6 energy total, you deal 300 damage, which is enough to take down even the toughest GXs such as ADP, which has 280 HP, and even with a Choice Helmet, Double Blaze bypasses any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. So a lot of potential right there. We also have Heatran-GX. The ability Burning Road allows you to transfer all the energy you have spread out onto it once you make it active, and we have the Steaming Stomp for a very solid 130 to deal with non-GX attackers, but more importantly we have the Hot Burn GX attack dealing 50 damage times the amount of fire energy attached to this Pokemon. So not only can you deal different amount of damage, but you can get for the same 6 energies, you can get to the 300 damage threshold, which is the new cool thing to do. Next up we have Turtonator, which deals once again 50 damage for every energy you discard from play. Really powerful attack that allows you to 1-KO basically anything as well, but with a non-GX attacker, which is really nice. And we have the new addition of Mega Lopunny and Jigglypuff-GX. Jumping Balloon, dealing 60 damage plus 60 more for each of your opponent's Pokemon GX in play, really makes your opponent have to double check whether benching a Pokemon is worth it, and it's especially strong against decks like Mew Mew and ADP, which rely on having a Dedenne engine down and also a bunch of Pokemon to either power up or attack with, along with their backup attackers. So really easy to punish opponents. 4 GXs immediately mean 300 damage, 3 means 240 to deal with opposing Lopunny and Jigglypuffs. And just because of this card's existence, you always have to be very aware of what you end up benching. But also, you need to be very, very careful with what? You need to be very careful with managing your bench, right? Managing your resources, and the fact that this guy can come out of the blue with a single Welder is also very problematic for any deck, because even if Mega Lopunny is not in the field right now, a single Welder plus the 3 fires, which is super easy for this deck to get, immediately makes it a threat as it is powered up. Now we do have Victini Prism Star as well for the late game Infinity attack, dealing 20 damage for each basic energy card in your discard pile. We do run 18 basic energies, so as long as you have 14 in the discard pile, plus the 2 Victini, plus the 2 Victini, you could still have 2 priced and still be able to get 1 hit KOs with Victini. Now we do have the 2 Ninetales line. The 9 Temptations ability is a gust every single turn. It also powers up Victini. You have a bunch of spare fire energy, so there's a lot of synergy between the 2 cards. And then we have the 1 Ditto, which acts as a third Vulpix, but we also have the Zebstrika with a sprint ability. That means there's no way for PG decks to hand block you, and usually games come down to, like, they get to a point where they removed so many energy from play, or they trap something in the active, but with Zebstrika you should be able to find your one of your 4 switches to get out of the active and keep applying pressure as needed, because they should only have access to 1 Cold Crush GX during the game, or maybe a second one if they play Misty and Lorelei, tag team supporter, but it's not super easy to pull off. Now we have 4 Jirachi and 3 Dedenne for the engine, super consistent, super reliable, and I believe this should be the norm going forward for pretty much any deck. I think that makes a lot of sense unless you're playing greens. Next up we have 4 Cherish and 4 Pokémon, so maintaining consistency at the maximum. We have 3 Stadiums, Giant Hearth in order to find fire energies, but because of Chaotic Swell, Robin decided to play a single copy of Fiery Flint because you cannot stop the Fire Flint from getting you the fire energies that you need with Chaotic Swell. Whereas if your opponent goes first in an ADP matchup and they play the Chaotic Swell, then it can cause chaos to your setup because the Giant Hearth cannot be played immediately, and therefore you might end up weldering for 1 card instead of 2. And Welder is indeed the card that allows this deck to really function properly, allowing you to attach extra energies every single turn, up to 2 fires, and you also get some draw power out of it. So it's a really great supporter. Some even say it's completely busted, and it's no surprise that it was featured as a 4-off in the 2 finalist decks even. So this is overall the deck that ended up winning LAIC. Let's try and get a game or 2 in there, see if we can get a good game to showcase the deck. I mean, basically it's the same ability RESHIZARD that showed up at Worlds, that was played by Tordreklev and the Limitless group. Guardian is definitely a very good matchup for this deck, unless you can't find Welder, which happened to me this weekend. But overall, it's a very powerful and very reliable deck, as it has 1 game plan. Find Welder and then just Welder as much as you can to your really powerful attackers. This deck in particular was a really good option for this weekend because it didn't rely too much on a single type of attacker. It has Turtonator and Victini for non-GX attackers. It has Heatran for a GX non-tag team attacker, and it had RESHIZARD and Mega Lopunny for tag team attackers. So it had a lot of versatility, and that's what really made it so powerful. Alright, so we have double Welder in our hand, but we don't have a great target to Welder onto. Of course, the best target here would definitely be either RESHIZARD or Heatran, but because of the lack of both, I'm actually just gonna end up doing this. And I'm thinking I just wait here, because if I top deck another fire, then I'm gonna be in a really good spot. If I don't top deck a fire, however, I'm still gonna Welder, but it's gonna be a bit trickier here. Now my opponent is playing Cherish Ball, something that you wouldn't expect anymore in Gardevoir and Sylveon decks, I would say. So we do see the greens immediately. Energy Spinner and Custom Catcher, so getting ready to target down that Ditto. Getting absolutely ready to already target down that Ditto. I'm sorry about the... need to work on a light link so that this doesn't happen. So that my head is not actually see-through. I mean, I'm not green though, so I don't know why this would happen. Alright, so we see the Fairy Song. I've been already holding a Custom Catcher, so we have to play with that knowledge. And we do, in fact, top deck. Okay, Okay, so do I want to evolve into a Zebstrika? I think I do. So I believe the card to get rid of would be this, but maybe I want to power up this guy in case I whiff the Heatran. So then do I get rid of the fire? That doesn't seem great. I don't want to get rid of the Dedenne. I think it's either Zebstrika or Lopunny. I mean, what are the chances that I don't draw fire off of like a bunch of cards? I think that's going to be the deciding factor. Yeah, my chance of not drawing the fire seem pretty low, so let's go ahead and do this. So spreading out the energy just in case, but there's a Heatran, which is really awesome. So we are going to be able to get a KO right here. It does mean, however, that my opponent can then just GX KO me, which is not the end of the world, honestly. Like, I'm trading 3 prizes for 2, and then Victini can just come and do the work. This would of course be better as a RESHIZARD, and now I would absolutely love to have drawn a Ninetales right here. If this had been Pokemon or a Ninetales, then we could have knocked this, and then that would have been probably game over. With the way that the things are set right now, though, I feel like I should steal Zebstrika though. I'm gonna do this, and I'm just gonna go ahead and sprint here because it gets more fire energies into a discard pile. My win condition becomes Victini. I don't remember if Victini is in there or not, actually. If Victini is indeed priced, then I have a good chance at getting it from the prizes, and we have access to Victini, we have Welder, we have Giant Hearth. I mean, we're gonna have 9 energy in the discard pile, which is not a lot. We get reset stamped as expected, so benching the Jirachi is pretty good, but Zebstrika is also really good defense against reset stamps, which is great. We see the greens. My opponent will definitely GX here, which is, like I said, completely fine by me. Wondrous Labyrinth and Green's Exploration, that is okay. Because we don't need to win next turn. We just need to eventually knock that Guardian out. And we have plenty of turns to do so for sure. Well, not plenty, but enough to where we should be able to do it, especially with the Zebstrika setup. The Zebstrika right here is pretty big. So let's promote Jirachi. And we do end up drawing a fire, so let's go ahead and Pal Pad here. I mean, I can actually just attack, straight up attack with this. I think I just go for the sprint here. An extra fire in the discard pile. I did just put back 2 Welders. I did just draw 2 Welders. So there's a Victini even. So all we're looking for is basically that Victini at this stage. So, I mean, Turtonator could also be the Pokemon to go with. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this, and I'll get the 2 fires. And then I think I'm gonna power up the Mega Lopunny here. Getting a hidden wouldn't be bad at all. Though I don't find energy, however. That is a problem. Well, it's not a big problem, but it's annoying. Because now if my stadium gets countered, I will be in trouble. I think I'll let my opponent have the Vulpix here. So I won't be able to win, because I didn't draw a fire next turn. Not the end of the world, like I said. I do have access to Victini, I can potentially Welder onto it. Maybe I should have promoted this guy to retreat and get me an extra energy in there. I need 13 energy in the discard pile. I think my opponent's priority is definitely to get rid of that Giant Hearth. That is his main priority. Having drawn 2 Welders over 4 cards when I had a 30 card deck was actually fairly unlucky, I would say. fairly unlucky. So there's the stadium replacement. Let's see the choice helmet. The custom catcher onto the Victini. I mean, onto a Jirachi. No, onto this. So trying to get the first hit in, which is understandable. Allows me to have the energy for the retreat. Can I actually get rid of my last welder though? Or well, of that welder. I do have one last welder, which is fine. So maybe it's not a problem. I don't have any stadiums left though. I do have the Fiery Flint, but I don't have any stadiums left. So I'm thinking... Wow, this is actually not super great. It has to be Victini, right? So this Pokemon will go down. 2 custom catchers down and 3 greens down as well, but I can't risk benching the Victini. So I think I just have to sprint here. Sucks getting rid of the welder, but I'm also gonna be like pretty low on cards. And we do get the welder yet again. So there's a small chance? Nope. So do I just promote the Dedenne here? Okay, there's 11 energy right now. I can't welder though. And I shouldn't evolve either. I think I switch into this. I think that's fine. And then I pass. So my opponent gets 3 prizes, gets a knockout. That's the 12th energy though. Coach Trainer. I generally think my opponent would have been better off knocking out my Jirachi instead of attacking into this. Okay, so we need to win this turn, right? We do need to win this turn, but I'm pretty sure we can. I am fairly sure we can do it. We need 1 energy in the discard pile, which is not difficult, or shouldn't be difficult at all. Yeah, my last stadium being priced is super annoying though, that's for sure. That is for sure, so... Top decking Ninetales. Let's go Pokegum for the Victini. We have 3 fire energies left in the deck. Deadly Change is not helpful here though. Deadly Change is in fact not helpful. So we're gonna welder 1 fire over here. And then I go evolve. My opponent says well played. It's not well played just yet though. So let's go sprint. Okay, so we get a fire as long as I can find the Fiery Flint. There we go. That was close though. That was actually close. That was actually close. I need to draw a fire and then find the Fiery Flint. Because if I had just found the Fiery Flint, then I wouldn't have had a way to discard the energy. So yeah, Stadium and 2 energies prize were definitely messing up with our numbers towards the end of the game, but it ended up working out pretty nicely. So that's gonna be it for the video. A shorter one this time around, but I should be streaming later. Maybe later today if you're watching this on Tuesday, or definitely tomorrow I'll be live streaming a bunch of the top 8 decks, and then as more get posted with Arcanine Labs, then I will be featuring a bunch of decks from LAIC this weekend, because I know many people will be preparing right now for not only Daytona Beach but also San Diego Regionals, which are the next 2 standard events to close out the year. So don't forget to leave a like, it really helps the channel. Feels good to be back, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.